Hmm. Mhm. 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 Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness. It feels like it's been weeks since I've been here last. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Makeshift Happen, the spiritual variety show. Come on in and welcome as we gather today, every Wednesday, as we do noon Central Time here in the Makeshift Happen spiritual variety show. I just said that, didn't I? Oh, welcome, everyone. Just take a deep breath, grab your cup of hot tea or iced tea or whatever you want. Come and let's have a conversation. Those of you that are new to me, I am an accelerated multidimensional way shower and healer, guiding others, guiding others to their sovereign, sacred self, opening you up to your vast landscape that awaits you with new opportunities, with new awareness, with new levels of rising up, new discoveries. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a glorious day here in Kansas. There is a slight breeze, which when there's a slight breeze, you just jump on that and you get outside and you take advantage of it, because what I've been told in the past is Kansas is the second windiest state in the nation. So when it's not windy, you want to get out and enjoy the Mama Nature, Mama Earth. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. The reason I've been asked in the past, like, why do you do what you do, Tammy? And one of the reasons is to help other women to shine, to just shine their true sacred self, to discover that within them. I've noticed over the years, as I do my work with others and within myself, there's layers. There's layers upon layers. And sometimes I didn't even know that there was a layer of permission, that I needed permission. Like, wow, didn't even know that was there. And that's what happens when we start to do our inner work, whatever you want to call that. See, one of the things about me is I don't always have a specific name for different things that we do, because sometimes it can put a lid on it. So that's why I refer to it as you see it or as you call it. Just like I talk about my entourage, my metaphysical, highly intuitive, highly healing, highly if you can feel the energy, you can feel this of when we have our team. I call them my joy team. I call them my entourage. And this is not ascended masters per se. This is multidimensional beings from, again, other dimensions, other realms, other cosmos beings, like the Lemurians, like Palladian, like other beings that I don't even know. Some I don't know. Some I'm still being introduced to, that are my helpers. Mama Earth. So when we start to learn that and utilize them and get to know them and create a relationship with them, it's amazing, as I'm still learning. And any teacher or guide or mentor or coach or whatever you have in your life, which I encourage you to have somebody in your life that can help you to elevate even higher than what you are. When we have those type of beings or people, when you have a coach, you want to make sure that they are still working on themselves. Are they elevating? Are they accelerating from where they're at into more and becoming more of who they were meant to come here, be, do, and have? So, as we gather today, I want to talk about abandonment. Because there's levels upon levels upon levels that I am still discovering of not just this lifetime, but other lifetimes of where abandonment have taken place. And that, if we do not look at these different things, can literally keep us from accelerating ourselves, from becoming that sovereign, sacred self. Here to do, be, have, discover, create, live. For the last week, see, today's Wednesday, so last week, Thursday, for like 5 days, I was on the road with my mom and her twin sister, my Aunt Al. And I was taking them different places. I live in Kansas, and I have a little sister that lives in Texas. And so I was the driver. I was the pilot of Jubilee. Ooh, her name came through my vehicle that I have that we just purchased in February after looking for a year, for well over a year, for the right and perfect vehicle that fit right, felt right, that wanted to be with me as not only as I explore different areas of this planet, here, right here on Earth in the United States, but also something that wanted to be in our family. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever heard this, that if you name your vehicle, that your vehicle will literally last longer than ever expected? So I've been asking for, ever since we welcomed her into this, I feel so good. Now, I really, really liked my car too that I had, but she has 300,000 miles on her. Pretty close to that. So it's like, I need something that I desired something. Okay. I desired another vehicle that I felt I could just jump in and go across the country if I wanted to. I live in Kansas, so I got any which way that I can go. And I wanted to have that freedom and that capability to just jump in and go. But when you name your vehicle, and I kept asking her, what do you want to be named? What do you want to be named? And as we were driving from Kansas to Texas and back, we go through Oklahoma too, where my mom and my aunt were born in Leedy, Oklahoma. And my aunt asked me, she's like, did you name your vehicle yet? Did you name her? And I'm like, no, I don't know exactly what feels right. And I'm feeling giddy and everything. And the word Jubilee came through. I'm like, really? Jubilee? I'm like, Aunt Al, I think that's what she wants to be named, Jubilee. And then between my mom and my Aunt Al, and they were just like, oh, Jubilee. Oh, yeah. And it feels so good and joyful and up leveled, and energy is high. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's her name. So now my daughter, she was laughing, well, with me and maybe at me, I don't know. She's like, "Oh, Tammy Lee is driving Jubilee." So see how much fun there is in that? How much just these little things, with these little things can create so much joy within us and around us. And as I was on this trip with them, because one of the things, and being with my little sister, one of the discussions, there was some family healing that happened for sure. And thanks, Carol. Oh, thank you so much. Carol says she loves it. So I'm thinking she's like, I love the name Jubilee. Yeah, it fits me, doesn't it, girl? So there was a lot of family healing going on. And one of the things that came up, because my whole lifetime, I'm 58, ladies. I'm going to be turning 59 in, what's today, the 14th, in 5 weeks. On the 21st of May, I turned 59. My entire lifetime, this lifetime, I have been working on abandonment. Now, my parents divorced when I was 13. But even before they divorced, I was already feeling abandonment. Didn't know it. Didn't know that was the feeling. And this is not, and sharing this today, it's not about putting blame on anyone. It's about bringing forth the truth, our own truth, because this is a level, this is an energy. The energy of abandonment is real, and it is vast, and it almost everybody I've ever known, ever worked with, even I can feel it, sense it, even sometimes smell it in other people. Abandonment. But it's something that so many do not even want to go there, because that means we have to get into our heart space, allow our physicality to feel that. But if we never do that, if we push it away, which so many do, it will fester. It will fester into something that we might not have control over. So I want to ask you something. Before we go there, actually, I want you, so there's a Facebook user, and that's how I get, so I'm in StreamYard, and this is coming, I'm inside this studio called StreamYard. Now, as you see, if you're joining through any of the different platforms on Facebook, you're going to see right above the video, there's going to be a see more, like you're going to read, and there'll probably be see more. And then you click on that see more, and it'll drop down even more what I posted above the video. It's going to ask you to click on the StreamYard. Go ahead and do that, because that way I can see who's speaking to me inside this StreamYard studio, okay? Because I have a Facebook user saying, good afternoon. So good afternoon, Facebook user. I just want you to know, as a Facebook user, you just go ahead and you click on that link, and StreamYard will give you permission for your name. It's like you're giving StreamYard permission to show your name inside of this studio, okay? So abandonment. And again, it's not about blame. It's not about shaming anybody, because I've even asked myself, have I abandoned my child, my children? Have I abandoned in any other lifetime? And it's not even about blame of ourselves. Okay? Hear me, precious ones. Hear me. It's not about blame or shame of anyone. It's about realizing a truth that's within us that maybe hasn't wanted, that the individual has not wanted to look at. I felt abandoned, left alone, even by my own children, abandoned. When I left their dad, 2013, this is 21, about 7.5 years ago. Now, yes, we worked it out. Yes, we worked it out. And we got back together. But during that 6 months, I understand they were angry. I understand that. And they were distraught. I understand all that emotion. And I've allowed myself to really feel like how I felt abandoned by them, because it was all about their dad, because I was the one that left. So, see, I can talk about this and I'm not having tears run down my cheeks. It's okay if I do, because I have worked with it. I have worked with that energy over and over, after layer upon layer comes through. Now, the adult mind can understand that, yet there's this other energy, there's this other part of us. If we allow ourselves to feel it, if we allow ourselves to go look for it, to allow ourselves to allow the energy of abandonment to come to rise up. Sometimes we can feel abandoned by a death. Sometimes we can feel abandoned, which I did, by divorce. And something I realized, this is really interesting, that I never thought about this before. As we were having a discussion, my little sister and I, and my mom and my aunt, and having my little sister talk about different things, and I realized she felt abandoned too. But what I also realized is we were not abandoned by just one parent. We were abandoned by both of them. By both of them. I'm like, wow. It just like, it kind of like sat me back in my chair. Abandoned by both of them. Now, emotional intelligence and emotional maturity comes when we allow ourselves to look at these aspects. When we allow ourselves to look at these aspects, when we allow ourselves to truly feel the feeling of abandonment, of whatever, when we fill in the blank, when we truly allow ourselves to feel the feeling of ... Today, we're talking about abandonment. Working with that energy, allowing ourselves to truly feel that. What also helps, this is why I always encourage my children to speak their truth with me, because I have noticed this in my own lifetime, of when I'm able to speak my truth with another person. And yes, it can be scary because you never know how they're going to accept it. And that's why we do. That's why the women that I work with, the individuals I work with, allowing them to speak their truth with me, like they feel this safe haven with me, that they can purge their truth that holding that sacred space for another. So just take a deep breath. Because I can feel that energy rising. It's okay. I want you to allow all emotion to come forth right now. Okay? Allow all emotion to come forth right now. Allow yourself to purge if that is calling to you. If it's rising up, rising up, rising up. Because, women, this also is how we can develop physical ailments. I was diagnosed maybe about 8 to 10 years ago with broken heart syndrome. Now, that's not just a regular medical doctor. I went to a naturopath. I would travel 3 hours one way to go see this doctor because that's how phenomenal he is. He's a little young whippersnapper, and he couldn't figure out some things, and he couldn't figure it out. He couldn't figure it out. And then one day, just with all the different work that he does, I think he's magical. It's like, oh, and as soon as he said, oh my gosh, Tammy, you're suffering, like it almost like blew his mind. You're suffering from broken heart syndrome. And as soon as he said that, I felt the truth in that. I felt the truth in what he said. And finally, not only was there somebody that listened to me, I could hear him as he said that, even every level of me. And it took that kind of searching to find that kind of person. So when we feel abandoned, we also want to ask ourselves, have I abandoned myself? Maybe even, where have I abandoned myself? And as we start to work with that energy of abandonment, when we allow the emotion of it to come forth, when we allow even our truth to be spoken. Now, sometimes our parents don't want to hear it. Sometimes, as Diana has said, yes, Tammy, I felt abandoned when my parents died. I felt like an orphan. Now, I don't know how old, Diana, how old were you when this happened? Because see, here's the thing. It doesn't mean we have to be young. We could be in our 50s and somebody pass away and we feel like I'm all alone. I feel abandoned. Okay? This can happen at any age. This can happen with any scenario in life. So, okay, I felt abandoned when my parents died. I felt like an orphan. Then, when my only sibling died, I had no family but my husband and children. So Diana was in her 50s when her parents passed, when both parents were gone. Were you also in your 50s when your sister passed too, Diana? So, because I can start to, when we become that next generation, like I never knew how that would feel. And because like both of my sisters, like I can feel this now. Both of my sisters, like I have one that chronic rheumatoid arthritis. She lives her own life in Texas. My older sister, she has Alzheimer's and dementia. So neither one of them, that's my two siblings, neither one of them can I turn to when it comes to dealing with things in regards to our parents. Both of our parents are still alive. So yeah, sometimes it can feel even that there can be an edge of abandonment, like when you feel like you're all alone. Because there's a thread of, yes, our significant other or our children can help us, but there's like something different when it's not a sibling, when it comes to our parents. Does that make sense? Do you follow me there? And maybe you don't, like, and that's okay, because I'm starting to realize this right now as different issues come up with our parents. It's like, wow, I'm all alone when it comes to siblings, even though they're alive, but they're not there. They can't be there mentally, emotionally, physically, not even spiritually. And that's just the truth. That's the truth. And there's no blame or shame. I'm so grateful I've worked on this, because had I, the way I was in that hotel room, as my little sister was able to purge things, able to bring up, finally, because she's only a year younger, finally bring up some of this and be heard. And be heard. So see, there's another, finding that person. And sometimes I've experienced this. Sometimes the people I work with, the only person that is for them is me. But when you find that person that will hear you, that, I'm telling you, holding space, a sacred space holder. Boom. Wow. Sacred space holding. I am so grateful to these women in the Emerald Compass Sacred Sisterhood, because that is one of the things for the last year we have been developing, working with and developing. They, each and every one of them, are sacred space holders. And that's at times what we need, is to be heard. Because once we're heard, just in the fact of being heard, it can start to heal that abandonment, that layer. And it can be so thin that it could escape us. But abandonment. I like that, Carol. We hold space like ninjas. You got it, girl. To recognize, to allow yourself to just say yes, even your truth to yourself. When I realized, holy shit, man, I wasn't just abandoned by one parent. I was abandoned by both. I've been doing this work for years, and I never put that together until 5 days ago. And so let that come forth. Let that come forth. Yes. Let that energy come forth. So another Facebook user, okay, just let me say this again. I'm using StreamYard. So in the writing above this video that you ladies are seeing inside the group, Ignite Your Joyful Heart, or anywhere you're seeing this, whether it's YouTube or on the Emerald Compass business page, you're going to see streamyard.com/Facebook. You click on that and it allows me to see your name. Here's another Facebook user that says, I was 50 when both died. Both died, but I assume both parents died. I was 50 when both parents died in an auto accident. I must have written 25 poems about feeling left behind, abandoned. Hurt so bad at the time. I'm 78 now. So just take a deep breath. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that. Bring that forth. Allow yourself. So one of the practices, okay, see, I just heard, don't go on yet, Tammy. Allow this energy to come forth. See what we're doing? Like right now, this is a sacred space. This is me holding sacred space for everyone. And Carol is here. She's one of the sacred sisterhoods. She's one of the Emerald Compass sacred sisters. Yes, allow the energy to come forth. How are some of the ways that we abandon ourselves? So somebody's writing in, I never thought about abandoning myself. I took care of everyone else except for me, except myself. That is one of the ways we literally abandon us. That's one of the ways we literally abandon ourselves, is that we take care of everyone else but us. One of my clients I work with, she too has done the same thing. I too have done the same thing and have learned how to turn that around and forgive me, forgive me, forgive all those different aspects of me, of where I have abandoned me. And when you can turn the forgiveness inside of, now there's a forgiveness practice I teach to my clients, especially inside of our group work. When we forgive ourselves, like truly, and you'll feel a different energy coming forth. You could even feel, sense a part of you even embracing you as you forgive you. Those aspects forgive you. And these other aspects come home. So the frequency of forgiving, of forgiveness is coming forth. If you just take that deep breath, just take a deep breath, and if you have a yes inside of you, right here, right now, to say yes to this forgiveness of self and allow that. Allow that energy of forgiveness to just flow through you. I love doing these every Wednesday because I never know where it's going to go. And allow that energy to just flow through you. With this, feel into your heart space. Feel that yes. Feel that. And smile, smile, smile within you. Smile, smile, smile. Of allowing that energy to permeate your being. This energy of forgiveness. Just take a deep breath in through your nose. And allow. Have that yes inside of you. Allow all the emotion. I can feel the tears. Somebody's got tears. Allow those. And again, it's not about shame or blame. Allow that to come forth. Yes, 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 yes. For years in my 30s, my mother would never, every time I wanted to talk about the divorce, she wouldn't hear it. And all I needed to do wasn't about blaming or shaming. All I needed to do was speak my truth. Just to speak my truth. Finally, in my 40s, my mother finally had a yes for me to talk about how that divorce affected me. And by doing that, opened up a whole new realm of possibility. And healing started happening. That's why I encourage you, each and every one of you, to allow things like that's a real friend. That yes, we can be friends with our children, but that's a true friend, a real friend to ourselves. When we allow, good what you want. When we allow somebody to speak their truth, when we allow ourselves to speak our truth with ourselves. Yes. Yes. Allow all that to come forth. When we allow ourselves to speak our truth and allow others to speak their truth with us. That's compassion. As I was in this hotel room, being witness and sacred space holder for my sister, well, I didn't know I was going to go there. For my sister to finally voice, to finally release, to say, it makes me wonder. I wonder, will that help her severe rheumatoid arthritis that she just found out? It's been, it's been a year now. I mean, crippling. It was crippling for her when she first realized it. Didn't know what it was. But see, this is one of the ways. I'm telling you. If we do not speak our truth, even if you feel for some reason you cannot with another person, with that other person, speak your truth. I like what Josie did. She was 50. Okay? She's 78 now. She was 50 when she felt abandoned, when both of her parents died in an auto accident. She wrote poems. Josie, I'm curious, did that help to facilitate the healing process? Is one of the things I have my clients do is to write. I've done this myself. I purge on paper, pen to paper. I always say use white paper with a blue pen. There's a significance with blue. Blue is healing. I didn't even know. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I followed my intuition today as I always ask, what color do I wear? And this blue, this vibrant blue that I have on, even I was looking for my glasses that I have like 5 sets of glasses. Like I got to find the right glasses because they're blue on top. And I was to be in blue today as I brought this forth, not knowing that I was about to say blue. Blue is healing. Blue heals the heart. There is significance. Oh, my 2 rings are blue. The lapis. These 2 rings have lapis in them, and they're also lapis. There's another word that goes in there. It helps to connect. This stone helps you connect to higher frequencies. So, okay, so blue ink, white paper, purge everything onto that, everything of what you felt. Let it sit for 3 days. Go back and read it. Like, I mean purge, and I mean cuss if you need to cuss. Say what you need to say. No holding back. Blue ink with white paper. If you can, just get a blank sheet of paper. That way you don't feel like you have to stay within the lines if you use notebook ruled paper, okay? And just go. Put it down. Write it down. Let it sit for 3 days. Allow yourself to go back and reread what you wrote. Is there still as much energy? Do you feel as triggered? Do you feel as much coming through? If you do, continue to write. If it's dissipated, then it is the time. I burn it then. And I burn it imagining violet flame, because it's transmuting all of that. Transmuting all that energy in those written words as the flames go up, 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 up. Now, at one point in time, I couldn't even visualize the violet flame. I couldn't visualize purple. I couldn't, like, what is going? So I went by a lilac bush that we have out here, whether or not the lilacs are blooming. But I knew, okay, they're violet. They're a form of a violet. So I burned. I did this with both my parents. I wrote a letter, and it's not about sending that to them. It's about purging all of that feeling. That's one of the ways to move that energy of abandonment. Moving that energy of abandonment. Yes. 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 Moving up and out. Freeing this energy here. Because we're speaking our truth, even though it's through the written word, allowing all the emotion. I bawled. I went out in my car. This was decades ago I did this work. I was in my car so nobody would interrupt me, because you also want to make sure you're in a space where you will not be interrupted, or maybe people won't even hear you if you share your home with other people, because emotion, allowing that emotion to come up, that desires, ladies, this emotion desires, this emotion of abandonment. It desires to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, to be set free. It doesn't want to stay all balled up in you. It doesn't. It wants to be set free, to go and transmute back into original sacred love of where it once came from. Yes. Alice also says, I also take care of everyone else and forget to take care of myself. Women, we are being charged with self-care, especially now. Especially now. Self-care. It is vital and it is required upon all of us to take on elements of self-care, to open up to elements of self-care. Allow that, keep allowing that energy of abandonment to come forth. That's right now. I'm kind of giggling because I had no idea I would be doing a healing session today. And I thank you for all those that are present with us. And present with each and every one of you, around you, within you. And all those aspects of you that have come forth to be felt, heard. There's a lot of powerful things coming right now. Because this, just releasing this, is pulling this. It's like there's that part of you that is like, oh, thank you. Finally, I can come forth. Finally. Finally, I don't have to be here any longer. If you have that yes. Yes. Smile. There's so much. There's more rising up. There's more light rising up with each and every one of you. I can feel it, sense it. I see it. I can see it. So any of you, even listening to this replay, do you have a yes? If you have that yes, type it in the text chat. Let your yes be known, be heard. Let yourself be okay. Give yourself permission to have that yes. Give yourself permission to have that yes. Give yourself permission to have that yes for the healing of the energy of abandonment. By typing in the text chat your yes, you even declare it even louder, even more going out there, like that energy of abandonment wants to be set free. The energy of abandonment wants to be set free from you. The energy of abandonment wants to be set free from you. Yes. The energy of abandonment wants to be recognized, wants to be heard, wants to be felt, wants to be set free from you. And then more aspects of you can come alive, can come back home. Can come and be fully, wholly, WHOLLY. Wholeness. Yes, that's what we attain to. Our sovereign, sacred self. Living in our wholeness. And we can attain that and be in that by allowing these parts of us, these aspects of us, these dormant energies within us to be recognized. How many of you can feel energy? Can you feel the energy of this release, of this healing that's taken place? Can you feel it rising? Can you feel more space within you? Do you feel a different breath? Do you feel air within you? What are you feeling right now? Share with us. Share with me. What are you feeling right now? As we've been talking about this, as we have been allowing that energy to dissipate, to come forth, to move. Ah, beautiful, Alice. Alice says, air within me. See, we just opened up an inner landscape for more of your sacredness, of your magic to come forth. And that can come forth in many different ways. What are some of the ways? Do you have an idea? Everybody, if you have some water, take a drink. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. That's how I feel the air moving, the breath moving. It's kind of like this softness. So I want to give you a gentle reminder of one of the practices I do and also have shared with my clients is if you want to work on this abandonment, one of the many ways is to write it all down. Write everything you feel. Be in a quiet place where you know you won't be disturbed, interrupted, allowing all your emotion to come forth. And I mean anger, tears, regret, anything and everything. Do not hold back as you write with blue ink and white paper. Purge, purge, purge. If you need help, I'm always available. You can book a session with me. You can reach me at hello@theemeraldcompass.com, or you can send me a private message on Facebook. Yes. I can help guide you through processes. So you keep it for 3 days. You go back and you reread what you just purged. Does it have much energy? Maybe there's more. There might be other layers. Then you write even more. And eventually, when you're like, okay, I feel like this is okay. I'm good with this now. I feel like things have been healed. You don't even have to know what's been healed. If you desire, and then go burn it. And you want to imagine all of that, the burning of it is going up in violet flames. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's transmuting. That's your intention. All of that is transmuting back into original, sacred love. Okay? Thank you for letting me share this. I'm going to actually call my sister after we're done with this and see if she's open to this practice. I have shared it with her in the past, and now I'll see if she's open to doing another layer of it. So we also want to ask, how have I abandoned myself? How? Where? Where have I abandoned myself? Part of what I have discovered that I have followed other people's voices instead of following my own. Okay? And then I'll go into each one of those categories. And do forgiveness with me. How many times have we beaten ourselves up, right? I don't know anybody that hasn't. Have we forgiven ourselves for beating ourselves up? Can you feel that hug of you self hugging you? Of welcome home, welcome home, welcome home, darling. Yes, there is so much within you, about you. You got this, girls. Let's keep this conversation going on inside our Facebook group. Let's keep this happening. Let's keep this evolving. By you sharing you, hear me here. By you sharing you help open up the pathways for others to start feeling safe, for them to share themselves also. You understand that? So let's keep this conversation going inside our Facebook group. And it's like you're calling other women to come and join in the conversation of opening ourselves up, of allowing that energy of abandonment and whatever else comes forth to be seen, to be heard, to be recognized, to heal, to dissipate. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me today. I am honored by your presence. I am honored with your trust. I got your back. This is Tammy Lee with the Emerald Compass. Until next week, we'll see you again right here live, if not before. Cheers, everyone.